So most people will look at what you're doing and tell you, oh, this is already there. What are you trying to do? What are you going to achieve? You can't achieve anything from this. But because I'm already seeing the future for my innovation. I'm seeing a Doza Poultry Palace that is a #1 supplier of chicken and chicken meat across Africa. And I got a lot of negative comments from people, including my own siblings. They're saying, no, Bakanga.
Hello guys, this is your host Victoria Sai. Welcome to the Safrimental show. Here with me, I've got a friend who's an uprising entrepreneur and innovator. Hello, do you mind introducing yourself?
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much for hosting me, Victoria, and I'm super excited to be here. My name is Chilumba Mutale. I'm an innovator and an entrepreneur.
Tell us more about your journey as an innovator.
So, my journey as an innovator has been interesting. Looking at the fact that one of my main innovation was actually recognized by NTBC, and it has actually been awarded under the HH Innovation Fund. As you know, any entrepreneur, any business or anything you do, it always starts with an idea. But I remember when I actually stepped up to make my first innovation, that was in grade 10, when schools were closed due to the coronavirus. And my first innovation was the triple powered incubator, which I'm still developing up to now. And over the years, from 2020 up to now, it has been moving from stage to stage, and we are still growing.
Right, so what was your toughest obstacle you faced, and how did you manage to overcome it?
Okay, that's an interesting question. So, like I said, in innovation or business or entrepreneurship, there are a lot of obstacles. So when I developed my first incubator, that's when I faced a lot of challenges. My first idea was to use something which someone who doesn't have access to electricity can use to incubate eggs. So I was thinking for the poultry farmers who are off the grid. So the first one I made, I was using spirit, the methylated spirit. The incubator was consuming 1 bottle of spirit, maybe 2 in a day. So in short, I would spend 20 kwacha in a day. Then I had, as you know, for eggs to hatch from the incubator, it takes 21 days. So during the process, I was checking the chicks and everything, checking the development, everything was going on well. But the day when I expected the chicks to hatch, they didn't hatch. So that was a bit of a setback for me, because my parents had trusted me. I'd assured them that on the 21st day they were going to see the chicks, and yet they didn't see them. So it kind of came as a setback.
Oh, interesting. So how did you manage to overcome that pressure? I don't know.
So the pressure was real, because at the literally used my parents' money into something that didn't pay off. So for them, they were expecting for me to have chicks on the 21st day, and I got a lot of negative comments from people, including my own siblings. They're saying, no, Bakanga, it was just that. So for me, I kept believing in myself. But it was hard again to convince my parents to continue the same project. So I paused for some time. I just paused asking from them, but I didn't pause the idea. So in my head, I was still like, I still need to continue this. I still need to figure out how best I can get eggs hatched the next time I try.
So what made you motivated to keep going on?
What kept me motivated is a belief. First of all, I think this has worked for me. I read this somewhere. When you believe in something and you start imagining it happen, there is that thing which comes in you that makes you believe. So for me, what kept me going was that I was seeing myself making the incubator. I was seeing the chicks hatching. So that belief in me that one day that chick is going to hatch, and someone is going to find value in something that I'll make. So that's what kept me going. Though I faced a lot of setbacks, other people were willing to support me, others were not, but I kept on going. And this is where we are. We are still developing, and now at least I've been recognized and getting access to these opportunities.
So looking at your tough journey, how do you handle self-doubt and failure? Actually,
All right. So that's an interesting question. First of all, Victoria, you have to know that failure is part of life.
yes.
Yeah. So for me, I put it this way. Like one of my mentors, Dumisani, says that there's nothing in this world that belongs to us. When you are born, or when I was born, we were born with completely nothing. And the things we have is something that we've acquired, which is not ours. So when you look at life from that point of view, you'll be able to handle any failure or any doubt. For example, the first eggs are incubated. I was seeing the eggs developing, but I had that doubt to say, is this going to work? And it failed. And after it failed, I still continued. Why? Because I didn't take things too personal. I'd spent money there, I'd spent a lot of things there, but because I believed in what I was doing, and I believe that that failure is going to lead me to something great. Like every failure is a learning point. For example, the first time I tried to hatch the eggs, I lost 30 eggs and a lot of money in the power which I was using, spirit. But I didn't give up. Why? Because that was a learning point. That helped me also to design the next incubator, which I made better, surpassing the things that made me to fail in the first one.
So, Mutale, what's the biggest risk you've taken so far, and how much sure are you that it will pay off?
Okay, so one thing you need to understand, Victoria, an innovator or an entrepreneur, these are risk takers. So risks, we take them every day. And for specifically for innovation, the risk that I took and I don't regret was exposing what I do. So I used every moment I meet someone who has done something or someone who I believe could connect me to an opportunity to share what I was doing. So most innovators fear doing this because they think maybe someone can get the ideas or something. But for me, that has actually been a game changer because the person you shared with what you do may actually link you to an opportunity, which is something that I've experienced and is something that I've learned a lot from.
Okay, Mutale, so how do you balance your business goals and financial realities as a startup?
Okay, so that's a very important question. So as a startup, this is where most startups fail to grow. So you have a business, then you have yourself, then you have your personal money, and you have the business money. So the most important thing as a startup is to separate yourself from the business. For example, these grants that we've been getting, you are entrusted with the money. So as a startup, your personal account, let me say for example Airtel money, that's the same account you're going to use for a business. Since you are not yet registered, you don't have a bank account for the business. But the most important thing is for you to be disciplined enough to be able to separate your personal money from your business money. And as you do that, you'll be able to balance between the business and your personal financial realities.
So, Mutale, can you share a time when you received negative feedback to your business idea and how did you respond to it?
Oh, all right. So that question is very interesting. We all have different fingerprints and we have different mindsets. So yes, I've faced negative feedback a lot of times, starting from my school, my home, and sometimes even now as I'm still growing. So most people will look at what you're doing and tell you, oh, this is already there. What are you trying to do? What are you going to achieve? You can't achieve anything from this. Once you believe in what they believe in, then you're gone. So the most thing is to stay focused on what you want to achieve. Because your business, you are the CEO, you are the founder, you know where it's going. But me who is coming, I don't have a vision for that thing. So I may discourage you, I may give you negative feedback, or I may tell you this thing is not going anywhere. But if you believe in it and you should continue believing in it, there is nothing which can stop you.
So, what is the most significant sacrifice you've made so far to pursue your business idea?
All right, so in terms of sacrifices, Victoria, as a startup, you are the business, like I've already mentioned. So there are a lot of sacrifices that you need to make. Because if you lazy out as a startup, as a person leading a startup, the startup will die. I sacrificed sleep, one. Then I also sacrificed some classes. So I remember this time when my teacher for design and technology had to follow me to the lab and beat me up because of missing classes. That's because of what I used to do. Because I was so passionate about the eggs that I wanted them to hatch. I didn't want to fail again. So I had to sacrifice those classes. And at the end of the day, I think it costed me, which I didn't want to happen. But because of the project that I'm pushing, because of the passion I have for entrepreneurship and my project, I had to sacrifice that for that. So, all in all, to tell you, Victoria, innovation or entrepreneurship is something that needs a lot of sacrifice, and you're not willing to make those sacrifices, nothing is going to work out.
So, did you risk anything, like, or in terms of money or something? Did you?
In terms of money, as I was supported, of course, by the school and my parents. So sometimes, of course, you can't rely on them to give you. So sometimes you find that they give you pocket money. Instead of keeping that pocket money, you end up buying maybe a thermometer for the incubator, things like that. So there are always those sacrifices that you have to make. For me, sacrifices in terms of money, I never even used to count it because I understood that I am this thing. If I don't sacrifice my money, this thing will go nowhere. So sacrifices have to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you choose to benefit yourself more than what you're doing, then that thing will fail. And I didn't want that to happen. And just to tell you, my second business, my second try incubating eggs, I had incubated 30 eggs, and out of 30, only 2 failed to hatch. So that's more than 90% hatchability. And I sold those day-old chicks to the teachers. So that success for me came with a lot of sacrifice.
Okay, so what is the one thing you're afraid of losing out in your business now? And how are you working to mitigate on it?
Okay, so the only thing that I'm afraid of in my innovation is to stop. I'm afraid that when I stop, I'll lose it. And this is why I keep on growing. This is why I keep on pushing for more things. By the way, I've pushed for a lot of opportunities. There are opportunities whereby you push for it, they even call you for the pitch. After that, they stop responding. So the only thing which I'm afraid of is stopping. And because I'm afraid of stopping, I have this motivation in myself that I should keep going, because I'm already seeing the future for my innovation. I've even made a name for my business, Doza Poultry Palace. So I'm seeing a Doza Poultry Palace that is a #1 supplier of chicken and chicken meat across Africa. I'm seeing a Doza Poultry Palace that is a manufacturer of incubators that will go across the globe. So it's that vision that I have that keeps me going, and that mitigates the fear of stopping. Then maybe to someone out there who is an innovator, who is just starting out, I just want to say to you that growth is part of journey, rejection is part of journey, setbacks are part of the journey. So I've faced a lot of things that if I'd succumbed to, I wouldn't have reached this far. But right now, being listed amongst the top 50 innovators in the country is something that is amazing, and is something that I can grow from. And I should mention, Victoria, that one thing that has helped me grow is working with others. Right now, I'm also working with Yaka. Yaka Investment is an already established team. And because of my skills in pitching and other things, Yaka has entrusted me sometimes to represent them at high-profile meetings, to pitch for them at some important pitch events. So every entrepreneur, every innovator out there should be able to understand that they are not alone. They should be able to speak. Networking is key in innovation or entrepreneurship. They should be able to talk to people, know people who are other entrepreneurs. You shouldn't look at fellow innovators as competitors. Look at them as someone you can learn from. For example, Mr. Mutale, the person who is doing Yaka in Investment Limited, is someone I met at a pitch. So if I'd taken him as a competitor and not want to talk to him, I wouldn't have learned a lot from him. But now I'm part of his team, and together we are doing something great, and I'm learning a lot because he has a lot of experience. So you have to mingle with people with experience. That will also help you grow. Otherwise, we keep growing.
All right, Mutale, thank you very much. It has been a pleasure having you.
All right, Victoria, thank you so much. It has been a pleasure being here, and many thanks to Safrimental Growth for hosting me. And truly, we are growing together, and together we develop Africa.
All right, thank you very much.